Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Otafest podcast. I am your host, Nancy, and I am joined with my dear co-hosts, Angelo and Jay.
Hello.
I'm a deer.
And boy, do we have news for you! We got some exciting stuff. Shalanin, the award-winning cosplayer and creator of #CurlyCosplay, will be joining us at Otafest 2023. Shalanin has reimagined characters with curly hair textures and created stunning representations of beloved characters. Her designs have gained national attention, featured in news outlets like Crunchyroll News, Vice, CBR, and Pop Insider.
If you want to show off your skills, share your knowledge, and help build up the cosplay community in Calgary, How It's Made is a science fair for cosplay, where you can display your creations and teach visitors about the processes involved. Submit your ideas at otafest.com/howitsmade.
Oh, we're getting closer and closer.
I just got some tingles down the back of my neck.
It's scary.
For you.
It's coming.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be
We
great.
have things to do too.
We will vibe.
Shush.
We can
But-
do.
It comes.
We will vibe. But until then, what we have for you is the winter anime review.
Yes.
Yes.
All of the animes that are currently airing, we watched the first episode of every one.
Well, not everyone.
Let's be real, the 3-episode rule would be too much to go by.
And to clarify, when we chose these shows back in the preview episode a little while ago, we looked at ones that were not sequels, and we kind of just sorted through anything that wasn't also a movie, I guess, because we don't watch the movies that are released in the season. So yes, we went through and watched the first episode of the 5 series that we chose. Angelo, you want to kick us off with your thoughts on Spy Classroom?
Yes. So, Spy Classroom. Ultimately forgettable, not gonna lie.
True.
Yeah, I actually looked at our list here just very quickly before we started recording, and I was like, I don't remember what happened in Spy Classroom already, and we only watched it like a few days ago.
So, I really enjoyed the aesthetic of Spy Classroom. I like the different character designs that it has. The main characters, I should say, felt really flat to me. And I mean, I understand that it's just one episode. You can't get that much character development in one episode. But over the 20 minutes, we got maybe like 3 minutes of like real spy action, with 17 minutes of just bumbling around and character introductions and things of that nature. Like, do you remember when main girl, or at least who I'm guessing is main girl, couldn't find the front door of the place, but just happened to magically find the secret door hidden in the fountain?
Yes, that's what it was. That pissed me off. It was like she was so clearly lost. Completely and hopelessly lost, but she like walks down a hall, and then suddenly out of the corner of her eye she turns like a full 90 degrees and finds a secret switch in the back of a fountain. You're just like, what? How did you see that?
They try too hard. Too hard to make her both like bumbling and competent somehow.
And ultra competent. It's like, wait, which one is she? And I realized that, humans are on a spectrum. They're not going to be ultra competent in everything, but that just seemed really unlikely.
Yeah. The premise of the show, for anyone who hasn't seen it, is basically they're in some sort of Eastern European setting. There's ongoing wars and conflicts, and one of the biggest assets in war is spying, and there are classes of spies, schools of spies, I should say, and they gathered all like the bottom tier flunkies of these classes who just all happen to be girls between the age of 14 to 19, representing tropes of every imaginable shade, and get them together underneath the watchful guise of quote unquote the best spy in the world who really sucks at teaching.
Hello, I'm the lock-picking lawyer. I'm going to pick this lock as easily as I breathe, and I expect you to be able to do it too. Simply pick the lock, forehead.
Yes. Simply get better.
Yeah, so we follow, like, obviously it's sort of like ensemble casting, but we do have like the main characters who ends up being told that she should be the leader of the class because
she's the leader of the bunch.
She went on.
You know her well.
She kind of went on a date. She kind of went on a date with the teacher.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was super weird.
Also strange. These are all things, by the way, these are all things we're only describing from the first episode. These are not things that are like, oh, 4 episodes in, she gets more time with the teacher.
Like,
nope.
No. Mm-mm.
Nope. They go on some kind of weird boat ride, and through some other events, she gets told to be the leader.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still weird.
Anyway, long story short, it's like a multitude of good spy animes if you took all their bad parts and put them together.
We wouldn't recommend it, is what we're leaning towards here.
It wasn't like painful to watch, but if it's your first introduction to that genre, you might be okay with it. But if you've seen other better anime where it's like action-based girl team with guns or kind of thing, there are way better shows than that. And we've talked about them before.
For the major premise, I feel like Assassination Classroom did it first and did it way better. For just the girls with guns genre, Licorice Recoil from the previous season, 100%
Yeah, I was thinking
better.
Licorice Recoil is what I wanted this to be, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It is a coattail rider for sure. And that's
Well-
okay. There's always copycat anime, so
There are copycat anime, and our next anime almost feels like that.
oh yeah, the next anime is definitely that. By the way, we don't recommend Spy Classroom. I don't think any.
Yeah,
there's
I
no.
think that was pretty clear.
We could just leave that one behind.
So,
Yep. But
Buddy
Buddy
Daddies,
Daddies, though.
though.
Buddy Daddies, though. That first, like, I think, what was it? Like the first 2 minutes, that one action scene on the road, I was like, this is
It was
how I
so
like
good.
my action. Yes.
It drew you in immediately. So, this is a major source of Abenomics. This is a show that is supposed to kick weeaboos into starting a family. This is supposed to make you want children. Good God. Almost.
Almost.
I mean, the kid's cute. The
Almost.
kid's cute without being obnoxious, which is
If
nice.
you take Spy Family was more from the perspective of Anya, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good. It had a lot of action, it had a lot of comedy. It was very good. Buddy Daddies, on the other hand, is very similar, but more from the perspective of the parents. In this case, we got Rei Papa and Kazuki Papa.
Oh, God. They are a golden retriever and a cat raising an
Yes.
adorable child.
And one thing that Buddy Daddies actually does really well, it actually humanizes the child, Miri, in a way that Spy Family doesn't do. Like, Spy Family is comedy first, realism second, and I mean, how real can you be when you have a psychic child?
I would hesitate to say that Buddy Daddy.
The child character is more realistic. The child character actually acts like an actual dumb 3-year-old.
A little bit, but she's a little bit. She's a little
she's
too
exactly
naive,
as naive
though.
as a 3-year-old would be.
Like a little bit. No, she doesn't have enough fear in her. Like she doesn't have like a preservation instinct.
A fear of strangers. Well, okay, hold on. When we first are introduced to the child, she's just like on her own, just getting off the Tokyo Railway and just running off somewhere to go find her papa. And one of you said to me, you were like, why is there just a child running around? Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Japan. It's Tokyo. This is expected.
I know you guys have only seen the first episode so far,
but
so
she's
like me and Dio have been watching this all season. Time
for me to watch more, because I really wanted to.
No,
After
it
that
is
first
so
episode,
good.
I was like, oh,
I don't
want to
spoil
watch more.
anything.
Can we just watch more
But
of this?
when you see like a 3-year-old running around Japan, you're like, where are her parents? They are exactly as irresponsible as you would think they would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's as much as I'm going to say on that matter.
I liked it. Would recommend. Would like to continue watching based on the first episode.
Yeah, I seem to remember when we first talked about this as the preview, we thought it would be at least pretty fun. So I think it's at least lived up to that.
Not going to lie. I
Yeah.
expected it to be like Buddy Cop mixed with Spy Family, right? Like with Buddy Daddies in the name, being the name, I was like, oh, it's going to be like, they're going to be like cops or something. They're going to be like on the side of the law. No, they're hitmen.
Yep.
They are mafia hitmen.
Yeah, and I remember when we did the preview, one of the things I brought up was like that spree, that era of movies where there was like two dads or two dudes end up with like, you know, some adorable kid, and the two of them now have to figure out how to parent this child while they are, I don't know, a super spy, in the military, or like there's, you know, generally up to shady no goodness, but they have this wholesome home life. And that was just so big in Hollywood for like, I don't know what it was. It was like 5-year period where it was like The Rock participated in this.
I feel like it started in the 80s with Kindergarten Cop featuring Arnold.
Oh.
But it did escalate from there.
Mm.
Like the 90s and the early 2000s were like the golden era of that sort of buddy cop movie, where at least like 3 or 4 of them were cops inheriting a child.
Mm-hmm. I remember lots of Hong Kong action movies from when I was a kid kind of going through this kind of a hilarity trope. It was pretty good. Like, I mean, how many times have we seen Jackie Chan rescue a small child?
How many episodes of Jackie Chan Adventures did I watch?
See, there you go.
True.
All of them.
But yeah.
And one more thing.
Oh my god.
And one more thing.
It's burned into your
It
soul.
is.
But the one more thing is actually we have several more things, such as campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill.
So I'm going to preface this. We watched on a weekend morning and Jay had not eaten before
yeah, I
we
was
started
hungry,
watching.
dude.
And he was cursing my name verbally and through Discord text.
Oh, true.
Like, I regret watching this right now. I'm going to go eat right now. I'm so hungry. This is your fault.
This one took me by surprise.
As long as you know.
I'd been sleeping on this anime. I did not start watching it at the beginning of the season. I was just like, oh, whatever. Cooking dog isekai, okay. I'm already watching 3 other isekai and 2 of them are trash. Do I really need to add another one to the pile? And yes, I should have. It was unexpectedly wholesome. It was good.
It was so good. Like, I was just waiting for bad things to happen to him the whole time, but it was a super wholesome first episode, and I just really, really enjoyed it.
I would probably venture as far to say someone who's not majorly a fan of isekais, this is maybe the second isekai show that we've reviewed that I would consider watching. The other one is an absolute watch, which was I think 2 reviews ago. We had that one where it was like the old man comes back from an isekai world.
Oh, Isekai Oji-san.
And is like
yeah, and he's
completely...
Isekai Oji-san, and he was just like super in it about like Sega and
Isekai Oji-san finally finished airing.
did it?
Oh.
It's
We should
okay,
watch
cool.
that.
That's such a good show. That's definitely in a sense, it's not isekai. It's actually just isekai adjacent from everything I could really read into what we watched. But like,
That's fair.
as an isekai for campfire cooking, I would say that it's pretty good. I like cooking shows. I like I don't really care about the whole fantasy RPG setting. I've never cared about that. Never really liked, I don't know what it is, but the whole party system and everything like that just bothers me for some reason. But I think that the interesting part of this show is that it's sort of almost a reverse of Isekai Oji-san, right? Like he kind of gets
Summoned.
he gets our world's power in their fantasy world.
I mean, that's actually not new. You guys might not know this, but there
That's
have been
fair.
2 other isekai at least that have done this. There was the first one that I can think of, which was also the worst one, In Another World with My Cell Phone.
Ah.
Jesus Christ, what a horrible... It was badly animated, it was badly paced. Somehow it got a second season. I don't understand it.
Oof.
And then there was, what was another one? Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody, I think it was.
What a name!
What a title.
What a name!
If it's the one that I was thinking of, it was basically In Another World with My Smartphone, but done better.
Oh, okay.
And somehow it didn't get a second season, when In Another
What?
World with My Smartphone did. I don't understand this. I'm angry at anime.
But I'm not angry at this one.
This one is so good. So the premise is that MC gets summoned along with 3 high schoolers, so he's like an old salaryman. He gets summoned along with some high schoolers, and they get the typical classes. There's the hero, the paladin, the mage, and he has online grocery shopping.
Yep. Amazing. Amazing convenience.
But I mean,
Imagine if he didn't start with money, though. Like, in the first episode, the king gives him money just for showing up to help protect the land or whatever. Imagine if he didn't get that, because he still has to pay for his
Yes.
groceries.
Yeah, he still has to pay for his groceries. He would have had to have found like a job or something
Yeah.
to be able to feed his online grocery slot machine, but
Yeah.
but then something amazing happens. He gets a dog.
he got it Fenrir.
The Fenrir.
He got a
The
legendary
Fenrir.
summon because his food smelled good because he used some pre-made
Exactly.
marinade.
Yes, that he's been hiding from his party members because he doesn't want people to know he's from another world or that he's a hero of any kind.
He just wants to cook food, enjoy life, and now he has a big dog. And the big dog is... God, I love him. He's so good. So,
Feed me,
after
human.
watching...
He's interesting. He's sometimes he a real big, and then sometimes he's just a regular
After
big.
watching the first episode, I ended up binging halfway through the season.
Did you really?
It was so good. Like, it's actually animated pretty well as far as isekai goes. It looks good. The characterization is good. Oh god, I was thinking of who the voice actor for the wolf was. What did I remember him from? I can't remember suddenly. But the VA for the wolf is such a good voice actor. Ah,
I liked it. I liked it enough to show Sean so that I could, get him up to speed on that first episode. And by the end of it, he turns to me and says, "My wife likes isekai enough to show me an isekai. I have questions." And then afterwards, I had no more questions because there was food in it, and that answered all the questions. Of course, you would show me an isekai food anime.
this reminds me, on a lot of levels, like another airing isekai. There's Farming in Another World that's currently airing, and I was really enjoying it. Between the two, I think this one is actually better.
What's the other one?
The other one was
Farming
Farming in
in
Another
Another
World,
World?
Isekai Nonbiri Noka. And so that one is also really fun. I really enjoy it. It's more about world building, or rather like village building, than it is about just cooking, or even just farming.
Oh. I thought you were going to be like, it inspired me to take care of all of my plants and build my automated watering system, but no.
No. Honestly, that one is like wholesome fantasy wish fulfillment. It's really good. My only I'm turning this into a review of a different isekai that you guys haven't seen. My only issue with that one is that it gets really harem-y.
Yeah.
Although the MC is self-aware enough to be like, this is a problem. There's too many girls here.
That's actually quite self-aware. I'm surprised that anyone in an anime series, especially an isekai one, would have that actual line to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, cooking in another world, super good.
Super enjoying it.
I love the dog.
Yes, I'm super enjoying it. It also it's nice because I often find so I don't mind cooking. I enjoy it. I derive a lot of pleasure from cooking and having good food to eat. But sometimes I just stop thinking of other things outside of like a top 3 or 4 things to make. So watching food anime usually is like, oh yeah, I could do that. Ginger pork? Yeah, I can totally do that. I've got pork. I
recently did the actual real world online grocery. I did one of those like food subscription boxes.
Oh, you did one.
How are you liking it?
I like it. I just
asterisk.
Well, so I also like cooking. I like cooking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that the first thing that I would praise it for is that it gets me out of certain things that I'm just cooking more regularly or I'm used to cooking more often. It gives me like it makes me explore some new recipes, and it just gives me the recipes. So as somebody who doesn't cook by recipe, I only follow the recipe thing that they give me about like 2/3 or 3/4 of the time. I'm kind of like, yeah, this timing is weird, or like I don't like
I don't blame you
the
at all.
order of ingredients in this.
I often reorder the steps so that I use less pots, or I like rejig some of the like timing or temperatures sometimes. It's funny, but yeah,
I'm like, I know,
I see what you mean.
But I understand that it needs to be very newbie friendly, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't have any gripe with that. I'm just saying that I know how my stove works, for example. So I will do it the way that things I need them to be done. But I will say, like, there's an okay variety of recipes. One of the things that I'm not really sure it would do is make me expand on my general ingredient lists. Like, there are some things that I have gotten from their like menu where it's sort of like, hey, this is something that I probably have not really cooked before, or so I need to learn how to cook it. But because let's say it's like a staple grain of some kind, right? I'm probably not gonna go out of my way to buy a whole bag of it once I'm done making these recipes. I can't imagine how good it would have to be for me to really consider changing my grocery habit.
I know that feeling. I deeply know that feeling.
Right? But the food is fine, right? Like, the food is good. I don't know how much I'm actually getting out of it, but it does make me feel like somewhat cooking creatively, at least, right?
Yeah, I feel that. It's fun to use it to try things that I've never made before, but I also feel like because they abstract away some of the thought around it, like sometimes they send you like a spice packet for, I don't know, if you're making tacos or something, they send you like taco spice, and you're like, but I wanted to know what was in it so I could make it.
They don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
And one other thing is, and I probably should have expected it, but I wasn't sure what I was expecting in the first place. They do ask that you have some ingredients on hand for yourself.
Yeah.
One of which was milk. And in a recent recipe, and I was like, I don't have milk right now, and I'm not going out for milk, but I'm already cooking this.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna have to make an emulsification.
Okay.
I just
throw in butter.
I have
it's
to
dairy. Substitute milk with cheese.
Well,
sure.
Milk,
Done.
cheese, fats, oil, basically gets you
Pop in blender, done.
to where you need to go. But for some people who don't know, you might be like,
Yeah. No.
So
And like, yeah, it goes back to the whole like, oh, you and I already, know how to cook, have some joy that we derive from cooking. So it's a little easier to just be like given a recipe and kind of like work around it. But if you weren't very skilled in cooking, I find those things really nice at like just getting you to dip your toe in and to find out that maybe you can start making some of these things without needing a recipe.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And for the campfire cooking in another world, this is how I would imagine it works for you.
Very possibly. Very possibly. Yeah. However, I definitely walked away from that first episode just feeling like I needed to go out and just buy some ginger sauce now. And then thinking to myself, no, I can just make ginger sauce. What am I doing? It's not that hard. Come on, Nancy. But yeah, I felt very bad for Jay because Jay was watching this without having any breakfast, was already hungry.
Yeah.
Just being like, God, I hate this. I hate it, but I like it, but I hate it.
In between shows, I made us take a quick pause so that I could heat up some food.
Mm-hmm.
The way you
and
must.
I started eating. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is not right.
Anyway, I would recommend this. I am going to keep watching more of it whenever I get some time to sit down and just binge through some of it.
Good. I remember the other character. The dog is voiced by the exact same character as Bone Daddy in Overlord. Eins Uragon. Same voice actor as him. I don't know the name of the voice actor.
What do you know?
But it's the same voice actor.
What do you know? Nice.
Did you know that Tomo-chan is a girl?
Prove it.
Okay, I have such conflicting feelings about Tomo-chan as a girl. On the one hand, I think the characters are really funny, and the situations they get put in and the ways they respond to those situations are very well done. But a lot of dialogue makes my little heart cringe because I have to keep reminding myself that Japanese society is still very based around traditional gender norms, in air quotes, and I can't look at it with like a lens from where we are, but still, there are some things that you can't say that don't make my blood boil. For example, in the first episode, she says, "Am I a failure as a girl?" And I was just like, stop. No, I gotta take a deep breath.
That's not how that works.
Just no.
No, you're just a regular failure. It has nothing to do with your gender.
Exactly.
Failure is failure. It doesn't know gender.
Precisely.
Exactly. Like Nancy said, it has a lot of just idiosyncrasies and a little bit of like weird behavior. It doesn't always make sense. In fact, I would almost go as far as to say it usually throws common sense out the window in search of a punchline. Not exactly in service of a punchline, but more in search of a punchline.
We all agreed that we basically only liked one character, which was Gundo? Yeah.
The wing woman of sorts.
Yes, the female best friend who can't quite tell if she has a hand in the
love triangle,
romance triangle, sort of, or love pentagon. I don't know what it is that it's going on there, but she at least is relatable and straight talking about the entire situation, which is kind of nice. The boy's oblivious. The girl is mostly oblivious. It's just all over the place.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
There are certain situations where you can almost empathize with some of the characters. Sometimes it was legitimately entertaining. I know this is actually an anime that Dio has been keeping up with, even though I have not been able to.
It is entertaining though. Like there's a lot of entertainment value despite my problems
Yeah,
with the premise.
Yeah, it doesn't lack in like the production quality, which is nice.
Yeah.
At least like the characters are, I wouldn't say they're poorly written, but they're maybe poorly expressed in a way. But the art is fine, the music is fine, the animation is okay. Like it doesn't fall into those pitfalls. It just doesn't quite get to where it needs to go, at least not from the first episode.
And yeah, maybe it gets better as like the whole thing develops. I don't know. But one thing that I did know, thanks for bringing up the music, you reminded me of something I noticed. Like I noticed the theme or the motif that plays when Tomo is the one that's in the center of whatever situation is happening skewed very twangy country bumpkin, and
Yeah.
I wonder if that's on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
Well, it's that whole like she's kind of a clueless, wholesome kind of girl. I don't know.
Who is a tomboy apparently.
I feel
Yeah.
like East Asia doesn't have a proper idea of what tomboys are.
I feel that.
Like Tomo-chan is actually pretty close to
Maybe.
what a traditional tomboy would be. I guess there's my whole complaint with that is some K-pop song that Dio always listens to. I don't know the group, but the song is Tomboy. That's what the song is, and it's an absolute banger. It's a great song. And if you watch the music video, at no point in any time are they wearing or behaving like a tomboy at all. I feel lied to. I feel betrayed. Tomboys are great, and almost never in anime, and definitely never in K-pop, are they portrayed properly.
She kind of reminds me of Akane from Ranma 1/2. Like she grows up with her father's dojo. She's a martial arts expert.
Mhm.
Is considered a tomboy, especially after she cuts her hair. I don't know. I'd see a lot of parallels there.
Fair.
We'll see. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch
No,
a
I'm
second
not
episode, though.
interested in it.
The only thing that I would say that I remember sort of annoying me about the whole like tomboyness versus being feminine is that Gundo, I recall, does have a couple of lines where like she urges Tomo to be a little bit more feminine, or in a sense that she's like, that's not what a girl would do. I don't really know if I care about that kind of.
Yeah.
I definitely rolled my eyes a lot when she gave that kind of advice.
It's like, that's maybe it just comes from a whole sense of like, be who you are. But some people want to be more feminine. Some people want to be more masculine. Some people want to be neither. That's fine.
I think part of it was just like the whole, she wants to be treated like a girl, but being treated like a girl doesn't make sense because
Being treated like a girl while acting more like a boy are still two things that are exclusive.
Yeah,
It's really
I
more
agree.
depending on your company that decides what kind of reaction you might get, like, or treatment you might get. I have had several friends that were tomboyish or whatever, and we just, it's not like I don't see them as girls or women. It's just more like they were more interested in traditional guy things.
Same.
Yeah. I don't know how I don't know how else to really voice that other than it's kind of really awkward seeing how they try to handle it in this anime.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not
not sure it was the
necessarily-
most graceful way to do it.
It's not that it's a bad show, but it's sort of just weird if you look at the big picture of how things actually work in real life.
Maybe we're just too old for it.
You think so?
I'm too old for a lot of
Maybe
things.
we're just actively too crumbling to dust for this
You think
anime.
so?
Maybe.
No, I don't. I think it's just that it's just mediocre. It's mid.
It's pretty mid.
It's mid.
It's pretty mid.
And also
Like,
it
I
could just
still
be at the end
laugh
of the
at it.
day, maybe we're just not the good like a good audience for it.
Oh yeah, that's entirely possible.
Like maybe I only see it from the guy perspective of having had tomboy friends, and I can't really be the tomboy.
As someone who grew up somewhat
I don't know.
identifying with tomboyisms, yeah, definitely, yeah. Not getting the greatest feeling from this show.
Yeah. But if you want the worst feeling from any show, let me tell you about my life as Inukai-san's dog. So
We got the best for last.
We definitely
I
saved
told
this one for
Nancy
last.
and Jay that I watched the rest of Dog Isekai, and they were like, "What? Why would you watch that show?"
You said dog isekai, and I was like, what? Why would you do this?
But the other one is, but this is Inukai, so I get it.
I feel like this isn't technically isekai, but it has the isekai heart. It has the isekai spirit. It is isekai
It is
adjacent.
isekai adjacent.
Look.
Dude gets reincarnated as an adorable corgi puppy.
Yeah.
And
So
it's-
first of all,
Ugh.
even not talking about the show, people might wonder how we order things about when we like do these reviews and previews. The answer is that we don't.
We don't, actually.
Every time we've ever talked about these shows, we just grab some shows that satisfy our quotient and literally throw them in no order given. Not because a sports anime would clearly flow into a music anime after. It's like, no, there's nothing to
No.
do with that. We literally just throw in the titles, throw in the descriptions, and be like, look, it's a show. We'll probably talk about it later.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this description? Yeah, I don't know. It sounds pretty. It could be good.
Yeah.
It could be all right. Could be funny. Could
We
be
are-
wholesome.
I remember when we
Uh-huh.
picked out this show, my argument for talking about it was like, there is one thing that one thought that every dog owner will have at one point or another. Wouldn't it be great to be reincarnated as a dog in a well-loved family and taken care of?
If you believe in reincarnation, for one thing, I'm going to tell you now. If you think that coming back as a human is the pinnacle of like existence, reconsider your ideas.
I want
Yeah.
to be reincarnated as a monkey in a hot spring.
That's a pretty good one.
Specific mood.
No, that's a pretty
Angelo.
good one.
That's a pretty
I
good
would say like one of the deer in Nara
Oh yeah.
that live in
oh,
Nara,
yeah.
like or be a golden retriever in an upper middle class family.
Aww.
You know, like these are the actual things you should aspire to, because the struggle of a human
It's not worth it.
Oh.
It's not worth it. I don't want to
having
go through
thumbs
this again.
having
soul can't
thumbs in
take
the
it.
internet. Yeah, having thumbs in the internet is like, I don't know if it's really worth it when I could really just be napping and being fed and being warm all the time. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we saved the
not wrong.
worst for last.
What could have been nice and wholesome and cute, our hopes for this was quickly dashed as soon as we watched the actual trailer for this show.
Yeah.
This show is unapologetically horny.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is 100% catering to a very unrealistic fetish.
I'm gonna say that the fetish goes two ways. I don't want to.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't like this girl. Okay, the premise is that some high school boy wakes up and he's a corgi puppy on the side of a road, and his like a classroom crush picks him up, takes him home, and that's like the beginning of this whole idea. And where you'd be like, well, where does the perversion come in? The perversion comes in the idea that it's kind of true that pets kind of get to see you in
Compromised situations.
like awkward, like regular human awkward situations where you're in a state of undress, for example, or you know, you kind of have a weird perspective of things. The point being is that it's weird because he, in the first the main character puppy in the first episode, at least, doesn't seem to be too willing to jump into
The role of a dog.
Yes.
Instead, he's like, within the first 90 seconds of the anime, he's staring at her boobs through a wet white t-shirt, you know?
Yeah, and these are like the kind of, that's where the horny jail perspective kind of all comes into
And
it.
then they take a bath together.
Yeah, like
Which doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you
Doesn't.
would ever clean your dog while you're trying to clean yourself.
yeah, no,
No.
nope, mm-mm,
But
nope.
she has, this girl,
She's sus.
I don't know what it is. She gives off weird facial expressions.
She's very sus.
And I'm not even just saying like horny ones, just like weird ones. Like the way that she reacted to her mom calling her name, weird. The way that she looks down at her dog,
The way she
Weird.
bit the dog's nose.
and
That
licked
wasn't a
it.
bite. That was like a really weird, like making out with.
Almost like a
Yeah.
French kiss.
It was very weird.
It wasn't in the way that like people kind of joke bite their pets. Like we've all seen that, but I don't know. There's somehow more going on. I'm not for it.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No.
No.
It is uncomfy. It is uncomfy.
I was really hoping there would be some wholesome bits, but nope, not a single one.
No. There's only like one shot that I recall pointing out. It was like, this looks normal. And it was sandwiched in between two weird shots. It's basically, you know what? Like, there's no point in being vague about it. Dogs and cats are shorter than us, so they're always looking up at us, so they can always kind of see your genitals first. Not see your genitals. There's not genitals in the show, but they sort of see your groin area first. And that's how they want to present the show, is by the perspective of animal.
This is
Yeah.
somebody's very specific kink.
Specific. Yes. A
That they're
very
making into a show.
specific kink.
And you know, just to make Angelo mad, it's gonna get a second season.
Are you shitting me? This
I don't
this
know.
is oh, you don't know. Okay, I thought for a second
I
I
don't
thought you just
know.
typed into Google and you found
But
it
it
already,
should.
and I was just. Are
I
you
am looking
kidding
at.
me?
I am looking
Are
at.
you joking right now?
man.
How does this get a second
As a
season?
reminder, this is the review episode, which means we are doing a preview episode soon as well, probably next episode, for Spring's anime. So I am looking through it. I don't think it would come out so quickly, because usually they actually would skip for a show like this. I will say that skip a season at least before they get another one. I will say there is a huge blessing in my life as Inu Kai-san's dog. These episodes are only 10 minutes long.
True.
Yeah, honestly, when we got partway through the first episode, all of us unanimously were like, we are okay not watching a second one to make this an even half hour.
Yeah. No, we didn't exactly give it
We
the
even
Exxon
asked-
treatment. We didn't just stop watching. We watched a full first episode, but we were done.
Better than
X-Arm is
X-Arm.
X-Arm is still historically the
Still
worst one
better
that we
than
couldn't even live
X-Arm.
through.
Yeah.
We got to 11 minutes in X-Arm and we couldn't
This
take
is
it.
this is not necessary. Like, this was just cringe.
Yeah, pretty
X-Arm is
cringe.
actually bad.
That's fair. That is fair.
But yeah, that's anime.
That's anime.
That's
review.
winter anime, everybody.
All of winter anime forever has been reviewed.
Here's hoping spring is better.
I hope so.
Spring looks like there's some interesting stuff.
What am I gonna do? Go outside?
Not in this weather. Spring hasn't arrived yet.
The only thing I'm gonna do during spring is go to Otafest.
True.
And carry an umbrella with us.
No, just go to Otafest.
For those of you who didn't know, it's a running joke.
I'd be okay if we don't. Oh, there's a golf anime, and we missed the first season.
Yeah,
What?
Birdie
We can't
Wing. Apparently it was
record
pretty
it?
good.
We
What?
can't review it by our rules, and we won't.
Oh.
That was
Shame.
last season, I think it aired.
I don't like golf, by the way. I just saw
Yet
it.
you're so excited about it.
Oh, because I'm excited about it because it sounds so dumb. I love, as much as I like saying that this is a show that we want to watch and continue on, it's nice to watch some dumb stuff, especially if we don't have to continue on to it, Like, there's no reason that I'd be like, oh, I'm now honor bound to continue on with this show that we watched an episode of. No, not at all.
Sometimes it's really fun to just see what's out there in the wide world of anime.
True.
Just like next episode. More anime.
Of the Otafest podcast.
New anime.
Catch y'all next time.
I'm isekaiing away until the next episode.
I am reincarnating as next week.